Welcome back to the Cardboard Candy Bar. Today I'm going to take you on a card collecting journey. Right now, Pokemon is all the rage, but obviously that hasn't always been the case. I want to take a look at a variety of card products and booster packs from over the years and see what they have to offer. Let's start with Magic the Gathering. This is arguably one of the most popular card products to have ever been created. You've got Wizards of the Coast and a very long and storied history, very similar to Pokemon. People collecting these for years, spending thousands of dollars on them, and the products have changed a lot from their origins to what we have today. One of the most notable things is it used to just be booster pack. Now it's draft booster, set booster, or in some cases, collector booster. These are very expensive. We'll not be opening that today. But let's take a look at what these have to offer in them. As you can see on the back there, you've got a set of about 300 cards. It's a pretty big set compared to some other card games. But you get, one rare per booster pack, 3 uncommons, 10 commons, and in this case you get a land, and in some cases you can get a foil card that replaces a common. That's pretty similar across a lot of older boosters. In this case you have a set of 302, you get rares and mythics, 3 uncommon, 10 common. So these are English boosters, 15 card packs. That has been pretty standard for a long time. Let's break into this one and see what is inside. Right. Got an ad card there. First off, we have a land. Very nice. And then right off the bat, we get a rare. It's a little unusual compared to a lot of booster packs you see where you go through the commons and uncommons first, and then you get to the rares. The rarity is shown by the color of the symbol here. Rare being gold, uncommons being silver, and commons being black. Lots of great artwork from Magic the Gathering. That is one of the major draws of these cards. Obviously, most people play the game, but there's definitely some great art to be had in there. This is one of my favorite sets, Throne of Eldraine. And it should have a similar layout there. Except in this case, we're starting off with commons at the front. Really cool artwork. Getting into some uncommons now. Turn into a pumpkin. That's perfect for Halloween season. Look at that. There's a rare. We have a hollow land. That's super cool. Regular land and a token. So as you can see, these cards are very, very familiar. They have the basic image in the front there on the top, and it's not full art. It's got the borders around it, and you have classic Magic the Gathering backs there. Nothing super exciting there. That's pretty much what you would expect. But there are some lesser known, or at least not quite as popular trading card games, one of which is Force of Will. It has gotten very popular over the years. It's also had some periods where, they almost went bankrupt. They almost stopped printing them. There were some sets that were only released in Japan and did not make it to the US or the West. But these are interesting. They have a little bit more of a kind of anime art style to some of the cards, but they also have some really cool fairy tale and mythology themes. You'll see everything from King Arthur to Cthulhu to, you know, Roman and Greek mythology, you name it. So let's take a look at what's in this. This is one of the earlier sets. I don't have much product from the latest releases. But as you can see, the cards have a different layout. Really cool artwork once again. This is a card game. It's not just trading cards. So there's stats on there. They have abilities. But a much bigger art box in these than some games like Flesh and Blood or Magic. Let's see if we can focus on that there. These are very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! In the sense that they have these interesting names, like Ryza, First of the Dead. I mean, that's a little bit extra, but look at that. That's pretty cool. We get a holo in there. And then a little QR code at the back, which is nice. That protects the cards on the back side because that's usually where your holo is. We'll open up one more of these. Let's see what we can get out of it. You know, a lot of those have that little rip tab at the top, but I don't find it very effective. Look at that really cool artwork. Some great colors on these. They're not the absolute best card quality, but they're not bad. There we go. That's pretty cool. There's our holo. And then real quick, we'll show you the classic Force of Will card back. Very, very neat. Then we start getting into even smaller trading card sets. These are much more popular in Japan. There are a few sets, I believe, in English, but these usually you can get on Amazon Japan or AliExpress or on eBay if you want to pay a little bit more but have it shipped faster. These have that same kind of anime style, but while Force of Will is a little, you know, they try to be realistic, these lean a little bit more into the anime. So let's take a look here. This is just a random set. I don't really know anything about the era or the card game. So for someone who does not read Japanese very well, these are purely for the anime and art. Look at that. Very nice. These have a little bit more advanced holo patterns and unique effects on their rare cards, which is really fun. That's always cool to see. Okay, we'll check out one more of these. You'll notice that there's a lot of like anime girls in these. However, they are not particularly risque. A little bit, but I mean it's pretty tame. Here's a really cool card with some gold lettering on it. This is, if you look right there, you can see it's an SR. Something that we're kind of familiar with, Japanese Pokemon cards. And a little bit of that like crackle pattern in the hollow, if you can see that. Really cool cards, really cool hollows. WeCross is very interesting, very unique, and worth checking out if you prefer that kind of art style, and especially if you can read Japanese. Now, I mentioned the anime girls because this next set is Goddess Story. These are mostly on AliExpress, a little bit on eBay, but these are more for the degenerate, neckbeard, mouth breather, basement dweller. In Japanese, you call them NEET, not in education, employment, or training, I think is what NEET stands for. But it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek subculture of people who see themselves as antisocial, who like to collect anime waifus, and there's definitely more of a focus on being a little bit risque with these images. So just so that you're aware, this card game is intended to be provocative. Okay. Try and damage the wrapper and not the cards. So right off the bat, you can see the absolutely realistic proportions going on here. And these are very much just about the images and not about any sort of game. There you go. The one big upside to these kinds of cards is that they do have some really cool effects on their rare cards. You get, this hot stamping with the gold foil, you get glitter patterns, texturing, pretty much everything you could want. Similar to some of the newer Pokemon sets, just really, really advanced and excellent looking rare cards. Okay, we'll open up one more of those. You've probably got the idea, but there you go. There you go. So that's basically what I was saying. That's what that is, and there is a whole culture around those types of cards. Check out AliExpress if you're interested in that. They've got a bunch. Another thing AliExpress has is Dragon Ball cards. So keeping with the anime theme, one of the most popular animes from early on is Dragon Ball. Similar to Sailor Moon, similar to some of the, like the original Pokemon, back when that was popular. Dragon Ball, now it's just a global phenomenon. If you haven't heard of it, I'd be extremely surprised. But lo and behold, they have trading cards, which is also not surprising. But these come in a variety of flavors. You can find all different kinds of Dragon Ball trading cards, like I said, on AliExpress. And then there's, some older ones that were pretty simplistic. You can find those on eBay sometimes. There we go. We got an SR Super Saiyan Blue Brawly. Got our Piccolo there. I don't even know who that is. Cauliflower or something or other. There's a Goku classic. Oh, look at that. We got an LR. I don't really know what that stands for, but really, really cool effect on this card. I don't know if you can catch that there, but it's kind of like a grid pattern. Yeah, really neat effect on there. I'll crack open one more of these and then move along. All right, got our Tien. That's a cool pattern in the background there. Very neat holographic effect. There's our Beerus. Krillin. A really cool Super Saiyan Goku. And there's our Kami. Everybody's favorite Namekian. Contrary to popular belief, it is not Piccolo. And then we move into something a little bit different. So before a lot of this modern stuff, there were art cards, fantasy art cards that were made, and there's some interesting games that were created in the early days that you might not have heard of. One of them is Hyborian Gates, and it uses illustrations from one of the most famous fantasy artists, Boris Vallejo, and Julie Bell, who's also very famous. And in here you can see it's 15 cards. They have, there's a whole game you can play, and it has like gate cards and pyramid cards, and I don't know what a lot of that stuff does, but these go all the way back to 1995. They didn't ever really get super popular as far as I know, but they do have some fun things, like you can see here that you can exchange an ancient gate card for a signed and numbered limited edition fine art print from Boris Vallejo or Julie Bell. So you could actually find a really rare card in here, mail it to them, and they will give you an art print. Now, obviously, this was 20 years ago or more, so probably can't do that anymore, but you see they also have, like, 1 in 375 packs will get you one of these rare cards, and then you have, like, the Millennium packs. You have 1,000 of those containing 15 ultra rares, so lots of neat stuff going on with these. But I think what you'll enjoy the most is the cards themselves are goofy and bizarre, and a lot of fun to look at. This is these cards are a trip. So yeah, there's a focus on the artwork, and we have things like Hyborian Trooper, She Who Watches. There's an upside down card. I mean, maybe that one was upside down. I'm not sure. But we have a random king dude. We've got the Russells. That's them. These are the Russells, apparently. But this is something you'll see a lot of in old school fantasy art cards, and that is like super muscular, just these kind of buff people. Yeah, these cards are all over the place. Why are these upside down? Well, not a lot of great quality control back in the day. But yeah, here you go. You got this like Conan stuff going on. But this is what's really crazy about these. Fantasy art cards weren't all just dragons and swords and kings and kingdoms and stuff. It was, fantasy included sci-fi. It included horror. The genres were not as distinct as they are today. So you get stuff like this, Kargon Ranger. It's a spaceship, and it looks like some kind of insect. It's really crazy. Just like Serpent City. Okay. It's a snake. Kind of part of a snake. We have a gate card, which, I mean, has some interesting computer graphics going on there. And then this is your pyramid card. You actually punch that out and create a pyramid out of it and use it in the game. For what? I don't know. There you go. You've got your classic scantily clad fantasy artwork. It's one of the things Boris Vallejo is known for. But you do have some really neat colors going on here. Some good artwork on these. Mind Jewel, Leviathan of Taz. And there you go. More of that classic fantasy artwork. Okay, we got one more of those. There's the back. Hyborian Gates. Obviously reversible. Kind of gaudy. This weird orange-yellow color with the purple in the background. That's intense. There's our pyramid card at the back there. All right, let's take a look. We got Shejin. More upside down cards. The Mist Dwellers. That's a Chaos Companion. The Man. This guy right here. You ever wonder who's the man? This guy's the man. Just like so generic. We got Rin. I guess that's his name. We got the Red Titan. Weird crown going on there. Ebony Death Watcher. I don't really get what that means. He doesn't look all that ebony and is watching death like just his hobby. Who knows? We got Terzan. There's Styx Gate. Got some upside down cards. Blaze Goddess. Fallen. Oh, there we go. More sci-fi. That is super cool. Nebula Cruiser, some kind of like space station thing going on there. Dwellers of CERN. And there's that pyramid. Yeah, very interesting and bizarre cards. Fun to open just for the just for how strange they are. Yeah, something I wanted to showcase. Speaking of sci-fi, though, there are trading cards for all different kinds of fandoms, and one of my favorites is Star Trek. These are very old cards, 1993. But yeah, as you know, Star Trek has been around a very long time, and I don't know if they're still making trading cards. Seems like it would be something people would be interested in, but they definitely made them back in '93, and they might not be what you would expect. They are full art cards with just a title and the series. There's a Borg cube. Oh, there you go. ProLine NFL. I actually have never seen this before. Unfortunately, because these cards are so old, you'll find a lot of like transfer and crap on them. Yeah, this is bizarre. I have never seen one of these get mixed in with the Star Trek cards before. But these were made by Skybox, and Skybox did a lot of sports cards back in the day as well. There you have Spock. Mind Meld with Jean-Luc Picard. Wrath of Khan. Great movie. Yeah, so super interesting cards. Again, the quality control back in the day, I mean, you never know what you're going to get. This is bizarre, but that was the state of things. Okay, we'll open up one more of those. Let's see if we can get, what do you think? Maybe a Commander Riker or a Worf or an Enterprise. There we go. Oh, there we go. Engineering. Got Scotty and Geordi LaForge. Beverly Crusher. What is this? The Guardian of Forever. I don't even remember that episode. Navigating the Asteroid Field. Super cool card with the Enterprise there. We have alternate universe Spock doing a mind meld with Dr. McCoy. And Orion Slave Girl. Classic from the original series. Real quick, on the back of these, you'll see some information about each card. The artist name, inspiration, and then the Paramount logo down there. And then a number in the top left corner so you can collect all of them. Really, really cool. Fun cards to collect if you're into Star Trek. You can find these on eBay. Before Star Trek, though, there was a little thing called Dungeons and Dragons. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it was just this little game people used to play where they used their imaginations to be, you know, warriors and sorcerers and do all kinds of fun stuff. They made trading cards, which included a bunch of different series. Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition, Forgotten Realms, Spelljammer, Dragonlance. Long time ago, back in 1992, there were a bunch of different tabletop role-playing games that were very similar to each other and had some different themes and storylines, campaign settings, whatever you want to call them. And they made trading cards. So let's break into these. See what we've got. All right, so Forgotten Realms checklist. If you're collecting the Forgotten Realms cards, you can get a good look at the ones in the set. You have characters like from Greyhawk here, we've got Glenola Oaktree, and on the back it'll have stats for the character. So you could use this as an NPC in your campaign. Obviously today you'd have to do a lot of modification to convert this to the latest. Then we've got Kane Blizzard, Fandor Oaktree. These must be related. Grindina, a lot of weird names. Karif. Have some upside down cards. Fantastic. Spelljammer. Here we go. We got Dainalesti. Runjoye from Dragonlance. Nahalvaen from Ravenloft. Saskan from Greyhawk. Sure. Okay. See what I did there? My favorite character of all time. I don't know how you pronounce that. That was just a guess. Never heard of that before. Yeah, so anyway, very comic book inspired artwork in some of these. Really, really cool. Something that you will not see today. If you want a little piece of history, these are super neat and worth checking out. But before those, or maybe around the same time, we have the actual series from the artists that inspired or were included in some of those boosters, like from Hyborian Gates. The Hildebrands were really popular. We've already talked about, Julie Bell and, Frazetta. Frank Frazetta is one of the other really popular ones. And we have a lot of these very simplistic 2 or 3 color booster packs, because back in the day, printing on this Mylar foil type stuff was not as advanced as it is now, and it was not as easy to put colors on foil. So yeah, these still had like some autographed cards and medallion cards and all kinds of cool stuff. Holochrome cards. This set is from 1994. And as you can see on this one, this set of trading cards is celebrating 30 years of the Hildebrands making art. So even before these existed, the artists had been doing comics and ad copy and other kinds of illustrations for 30 years. So we're getting really, really far back there now. And it talks about these chromium cards. I'll show you something similar to that here in a minute. 1991. Very, very old cards here. And a lot of these, I don't know if it shows on the booster pack anymore, but some of them you can see were like $1 per booster. These don't actually have cards in them. This is just placeholder. But what I do have is some loose cards from Flight of Fantasy, that I can show you. These are a really neat treat. Literally just art. Just artwork on regular cards with square corners. As you can see, they didn't round them off back then. But this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, where fantasy fiction included things like, dinosaurs. Things like sci-fi and aliens. But then you have your classic, flying rugs, Arabian style thing, but dragons and gnomes and dwarves, Pegasus, the whole Rapunzel thing. Check that out. How cool is that art? There we go, like a King Arthur inspired thing, but look at these little people. What is going on there? Like, half the time you don't even know. It's just random, crazy stuff. Anything that is not normal or usual pretty much got tossed in with fantasy. I mean, this is like just kind of some pirates or something, but it's considered fantasy artwork for these cards back in the day. There's another dinosaur. Random, goofy looking cloud ogre thing. Chick with a fan. There's our Patronus charm. Look at that. Just random crossover with some animals. So that's basically an idea of where a lot of trading cards started, was, these little art cards. Some were very heavily focused on mostly naked buff people. Some are very focused on dragons and knights, and others were pretty much anything goes, whether it's aliens or machines or what have you. And lastly, here's a little sample of chromium cards or something similar. These were very rare and hard to get, but every now and then in booster boxes, you'd find cards that just have this metallic appearance to them. Then you have some that are actually transparent. You can kind of see there. But yeah, it's got that metallic kind of iridescent quality to it. Yeah. And to think they were doing this kind of thing back in the early 90s. It was like 35 years ago. So you can still find some of these on eBay. Definitely worth taking a look out there. There are dozens of really great fantasy art cards dedicated to specific artists. So check out, just do a search on eBay for fantasy art cards if you're interested. You'll find some really cool stuff. And as is tradition, I do have a bonus pack, but it's not a pack of trading cards. It's a pack of playing cards. When it comes to the joy of cardboard, there's nothing more classic and traditional, I guess, than playing cards. And a lot of people don't really think about them much. They think, oh, just go get a pack of Riderback bicycle playing cards for $3 from Walgreens, and that's all you ever need to know. But the truth is, there are thousands and thousands of unique playing card decks out there that are worth checking out. And some people just collect these as collectibles, as though they were trading cards. So you can see there are ones out there that have really nice back designs. Some of them are borderless. Some of them have this color matched kind of border, so it's not just the traditional white borders you're used to. But the cards themselves can get pretty fancy. Whether it's, just having these neat borders or backs, whether it's having fancy pips, or just the court cards and the fonts. Like, look at this A and the ace. There are a bunch of different playing card deck designers out there that are worth checking out. And if you've ever played poker or blackjack or old maid or solitaire, these don't have to be boring. There's stuff out there that's worth making a part of your collection, whether it's trading cards, playing cards, what have you. These are the types of things that you can bring a family together and play games. Things that your kids or grandkids could look back on and say, you know what, my childhood, there are some memories of these really neat playing cards. Just something really cool about the simplicity of playing cards that is not quite as crazy as all the video games and anime and TV and TikTok and all that. So yeah, just a little reminder that there's a lot out there, and it doesn't have to be Pokemon cards. If you love Pokemon, great. If you love Magic, absolutely great. If you love, these bizarre old art cards, that's great too. If you just want a deck of playing cards, want something that's a little bit nicer than those bicycle decks, they're out there. You just got to look. So I hope you're finding something you can enjoy. I hope I broadened your horizons a little bit, and I hope you have a great one. We'll catch you in the next video.